I want people to understand the owner still leads, but the business no longer depends on them. The goal isn't to remove what made the business special. It's to make sure it survives beyond one person. The companies making the biggest strides aren't necessarily working less, but they are operating differently. Anthony, what changes first once businesses stop depending entirely on the founder, from your perspective?
I think you start to see a few different things changing all at once, but like you talked about the family flywheel, they all kind of happen together. But there's more freedom, there's less drama, there's more clarity. The things that I think I would call like our supporting elements are like, there's humility, there's open-mindedness, but I think some of the things that you've kind of touched on a little bit, like I loved what Roey said about setting the date. Like if you said to yourself, not to sound super morbid, but to go like, hey, I'm going to be dead in 5 years. Like this, begin with the end in mind and start working backward to plan for that date. When you start to put systems in place and people in place and become like the coach or the general manager of your thing to build something so that you can buy back your time, buy back your freedom, buy back your peace of mind and make your business work for you instead of the opposite way around. All of a sudden you feel this shift where, like I said, there's more peace, there's more clarity. Businesses that are willing to have hard conversations and can be fanatic planners, which is ironic to me, like in construction in particular, that like, if everybody said, hey, right, like we have all these skills around planning to build a project, but we don't necessarily look at our business as a project to like, and this is what it'll look like when it's finished, when I'm done. Right. But when my legacy is, I would compare to people like anyone who's a business owner knows the shift from like running a project to running a business. Like there's things you don't know or don't think about. And until you're in charge of the whole business, you don't see those things. There's another layer above that still that's called like running your legacy, your family office or whatever. When you get to that level, you start thinking and strategizing at a whole different level again. And you need to get to that level if you're going to figure out how to create an off-ramp for you and build something that's going to live beyond yourself.
Love it. Roey, from your perspective, what changes, once the business...
If you went back to that graphic before and you looked at that orange box there, that orange circle that you had, I mean, for me, if a family, and this is why it's so beautiful what you had, because I think what we were doing for many, many years was green and blue, and we were doing it great, and to the elimination of that. And so now that you've got all of these put together, that orange piece is what I don't want to work with a family that's not interested in doing this. And so we built the technology platform to do that exact portion and be the combination of this thing so it's all working together. And if you don't, you can have some great business, but I'll tell you, from my experience, the wheels will fall off. That's not what it's about. To have generational success, it's a whole different ballgame.